James for reader searches as one. I don't know. Yes, quiz. Like I said, quiz. 1987 science fantasy space opera animated science space opera film, and it's notable for it was actually kind of aimed at a more adult audience than what people actually think it was made for. Now, a lot of people find this is actually made for a child audience, but it's actually aimed for a slightly more adult audience. Now, just because this movie was rated PG didn't mean it was directly aimed at kids. Back then, PG rating back then was a lot different than a PG nowadays. Back then, there were some PG movies back then. They were actually if the DCs would probably be classified as a PG-13. Look at Dick Tracy. That would probably get classified as PG-13 these days, if it came out these days. Because that's got kind of racy, but that came out in the 1990s, and that was a Disney movie, of all things. And then you had Rock and Roll, which I believe is a P, actually rated. And Friday Night was actually rated PG, but that would probably be PG-13. PG-13. But that would probably get rated as PG-13 nowadays. Because that's actually pretty, it's actually pretty risque for a PG-rated animated film. I mean, that was aimed at an adult audience, too. Now, this one has the voices, of course, had the voices of, Joe Colligan, who, outside this movie, from what I can tell, he's only had big credits. He was in a few episodes he just started an episode of Friends. And he appeared in, I think, a few minor movies. I think he mostly just had minor bit parts in movies. And I think he had, like, only a handful of live act. And I believe this is all his, and I think he might have had a few voice acting credits in some animated shows from back in the day. But he mostly worked in live action. Apparently, if you check the IMDb page, he actually hasn't been in anything since 2003. So he's actually been retired from acting for the last 22 years. I mean, I think his IMDb page is kind of limited. I mean, I think he had a few minor bit part roles in he had a few minor bit part roles on some TV shows like Friends, and I think he had popped up in an episode of Seinfeld too, where he played as a minor. Where I think in those doing his kind of TV acting credits, he mostly just played minor characters. This movie also starred Carmine Ganziano as the voice of Dag. Now, Carmine Ganziano actually has a much more varied film, TV resume. He includes appearances in shows like Stardust One, CSI. I forgot which CSI show, and he was also in the movie Identity too. So yeah.